Welcome back to the Domenick Nati Show on Intellectual Radio in Chicago and iHeartRadio. I've been telling you about our special guest, and the time has come. Your favorite housewife, Elyse Slaine, is with us today. Elyse, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm glad I was finally able to get on.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited. Now, I have a lot of things I want to ask you, but first of all, I know that you have a lot of business ventures. Can you tell us about some of those?
Sure. Well, so what I do basically almost 24/7, I take cat naps in between, is crypto trading. And that, for the most part, is my life. Because cryptos trade 24/7. So when America goes to sleep, I'm usually trading with Korea. And then I am involved with Beauty Society, which is an unbelievable skincare line. They reached out to me over the summer and asked me if I would try their products, and I was kind of blowing them off. But they were very insistent, sent me a box full of stuff, and I swear I've never looked better in my life. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I want to buy your company. But they wouldn't sell, no matter how hard I tried to convince them. And I ended up partnering with them. So those are my two businesses. And then I trade stocks, and I'm involved with Animal Humane as a charity. I'm an ambassador for them. And that's where all my Roni money went, was to Animal Humane and a couple of other animal rescues.
Now, the Roni money, like, did it pay? I've asked some other people in reality TV this. Like, does it pay that much to be on reality TV, or is it not what people would expect?
Well, it does eventually, but no, not as, I mean, I was a friend of the show, or, pretty quickly turned into an ex-friend, so to speak, of the show. Doesn't pay that much, but, it was, whatever it was certainly a nice contribution. So am I going to, live off of that? No.
Okay. Now, why are you no longer on The Real Housewives of New York City? Like, did you tell them you don't want to be on the show anymore?
So Ramona and I used to be good friends and had a huge falling out, really off the show, but it bled onto the show. And there was really just no place to go with that. And in addition to that, I had a really hard time signing their contract, just even being a friend of the show. So I didn't sign it until 2 days before the show was airing, a very watered down version of it. So it would have been really tough for me to commit to the kind of stuff that these girls commit to. Right? This show is their lives, right? To me, this was just sort of a thing I stumbled on.
So basically, and I worked on a dozen different reality shows. I've got casted for one, and I didn't sign. It was a 30-page contract with ABC, and I was like, God, I can't sign this. This. At one point, it said that we can also make changes to the contract and not notify you, and you're still legally liable. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? I was like,
you completely didn't say. I could say, I hate the color blue. Oh, hey, Dom, how you doing? And they could edit it for me to say, I hate Dom.
Right. Okay. So, and that's how those contracts work. So they're basically saying we can edit it for you to say whatever we want, and you can't do anything about it. Right. Is that?
Right. We can humiliate you. We can disparage you. We can basically ruin your life. But hey, there's nothing you can do about it.
How do you feel that you were edited on the show? Are you happy with it, or do you feel like they twisted things around?
They twisted some things around, right? I mean, there was a scene where I called Sonia an accessory, and they cut out a lot that went, before and after that to make me look like a real, bitch. But for the most part, I was not upset with the edit.
Okay. And do you feel like that they intensified this, this issue that you have with Ramona? Do you feel like they made it worse, or maybe it wouldn't have been as bad? You know what I'm saying?
The producers definitely try to get you to, the producers were definitely poking the tiger, and they would want me. Ramona was behaving badly. There's no way around that. She was behaving badly. I would go as far as to use the letter C. But I was letting it go because to me, this was really her gig. And the producers kept saying, you got to call her out. You got to call her out. And I really wasn't willing to call her out until I literally reached my breaking point with her. And when I lost it on her, it was very real.
So Ramona was being a cunt, right? And then you're saying that I could say it. I'll say it. Yeah. So in the producers were trying to egg you on, and like to confront her. So they threw fuel on this fire.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And the other girls also try to, so Sonia was playing one side against the other. So while Sonia was pushing me to say, Sonia was saying, Ramona's treating you so badly. Oh my God, she treats you like a second-class citizen. And then she'll go on, Watch What Happens Live and say, oh yeah, Elyse really didn't have Ramona's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. So when did Sonia say that? Was Sonia saying that off camera? And then
oh yeah, off camera, on camera, but oh yeah. Yeah.
So she was
Dorinda would call me on a regular basis and she'd be like, wow, Ramona's really abusive to you. And then, the girls and everybody wanted me to basically call her out at her birthday party, and I wouldn't do it. I said, I'm not going to ruin her birthday party. I'm not going to call her out. But, I did get to a point where she just was treating me so badly, and I lost it.
So do you think that Sonia is two-faced, basically?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, she definitely was. I mean, look, I think she's mean-spirited? No. But, yeah, she could be a manipulator. She's been doing the show a long time. And there's a certain personality that goes along with doing that show, or with any of these reality shows, right? I mean, my nature is not to fight, right? I mean, I always sort of want to try to find resolution. And I know the show is sort of about conflict and resolution, but the fights, I mean, if you had in real life a friend that you fought with on this level, or that basically used everything that they possibly can against you to humiliate you, would you ever have anything to do with that person again? No. But on the show, you're forced into this situation all the time. So Leah and I are very close. And I wonder if I was still on the show, what would happen with that? I would be horrified if Leah ever betrayed, any of my confidences or anything on the show. So it's really not conducive to real friendships.
Is Dorinda also manipulative and two-faced?
I'm reading comments that people are making. I love the people on here. Is Dorinda two-faced? I think that, no, I don't know if I'd call her two-faced, but Dorinda also knows how to play the game, and Dorinda does what works for her.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, careful with the. You probably have very well-behaved followers. I don't. So yeah, you'll see a vast difference between mine and yours. Have you spoken to Ramona at all, like since filming ended?
Last February, at the end of last February, she actually wanted to make up with me, and I didn't want to hear it. I mean, things had gotten so bad. I needed more time, and I figured we would probably talk by the summer because we have so many friends in common. But by the time the summer rolled around, she had spoken so badly behind my back that things just went from bad to worse. So she still talks behind my back. It's sort of amazing.
How did she try to make up with you? Did she try to call you or?
No, we ran into one another. It was at a friend's mother's funeral, and she came over and she gave me a hug and she told me she wanted to talk. And she reached out to me the next day to talk, and I had a really bad headache that day, and I couldn't deal with it. And I said, we'll figure out a time to talk. And then I just never followed up with it. But okay. It's still, when I did all these interviews and, with people and Us Weekly and stuff, I never put her down. I always built her up. And the first chance she did, she had was, with the press, she was shitting all over me. So I sent her a text and I was like, really? I always took the high road. I said, but we could do this your way too. And then we got really ugly on social media.
Someone asked too, are these housewives, would you consider some of the real housewives of New York City alcoholics? I mean, do they have drinking, like a real drinking, like a serious drinking problem?
Absolutely.
Which ones? Who do you think?
Well, I mean, whatever you're watching on the show, I mean, it's obvious. You could guess which ones have the drinking problem.
Would you say
right?
it's Dorinda and Sonia have drinking problem?
I don't think Dorinda's drinking now, but I think on the show she was definitely drinking a lot. Luann was supposedly sober, but that didn't last very long. And Sonia, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Ramona is also doing a lot of maskless traveling. Do you think that she's putting her co-stars at risk for COVID?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's irresponsible of her to be traveling to these islands and do all this traveling without a mask and to be traveling at all. So you think that she's a risk? Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if you were still on the show, would that be something that you would have told the producers, like, hey, she needs to quarantine, or would that be something you would have addressed?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, the producers, from what I understand, they give the girls COVID tests, and they're very serious about it. So they shut down filming a few times because of COVID scares, and even if someone on the crew had it, they shut it down.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think anyone should be traveling, and you should always wear a mask. That's something I'm very big on. Yeah. Now, Ramona also looks very different in pics this year. Like, do you think that she got any plastic surgery? She looks very different.
Well, what do you think? You think it's really like Ageless by Ramona that did that to her, or Ageless by Scalpel?
Ageless by Scalpel. So what do you think she got done?
I don't know. I mean, I think she did the whole thing. I don't know. She looks good, though. You're frozen.
I think she's spinning. Or do we have a bad connection?
Are you back?
I can see you. Yes. Okay.
That was weird. Me? I hear you
here
now.
We go.
We're frozen.
Okay.
All right.
I'll pick back up.
That big thing sticking out of your mouth.
Yeah, that's usually I choked on it. Yeah, it hit me in the tonsils. Normally I don't have that reflux. Okay. So I just want to recap the last thing that you said. So do you think that Ramona got a facelift in the off season?
Do you know how bored I am talking about Ramona?
Okay. All right, let's do it. Okay. Can I ask you, do you stay in contact with Sonia? Are you guys friends or not?
No, I was friends with Sonia, but no, I've not stayed in contact with Sonia. I'm in contact with Leah and Dorinda.
Okay. Now, Dorinda was also fired from Roni. Do you have any idea why she was fired? And do you think this is the right move for the show?
I think that I think Ramona had a lot to do with Dorinda being off the show. Do I think it was the right move? I wouldn't be surprised if they brought her back.
Okay. Yeah, you think it could just be temporary. I got you. Okay, I'm sorry for my screen freezing. These are my fans, believe it or not. They're very rough on me when I have technical difficulties. But they're actually very
more about Beauty Society. I'm reading the comments.
Yeah. Just don't read the ones of any accounts that you've never seen before. Those are my fans that are very verbally abusive to me. So let me ask you this, because we ask everyone. Now, I know that you're happily married, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Now, how has the sex been during quarantine? Have you been more sexually active? Has it been better or worse?
Like we're like, newlyweds still, only married 2.5 years. So though we've been together now a total of 7 years. But I don't think quarantine has really made a difference. The only thing that makes a difference is when I'm trading cryptos at night, I make him just take me from behind so I can watch the screen. No, I'm kidding.
It's got to be doggy style so you can work. Yeah.
He's not sure, and I'm like, really, like, oh, yes, if it's him, with money.
That's right. He's proud of himself, but it was really just a good trade.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, it's going down. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, not you.
The Dow is still up for him. Yeah, his Dow is still up. Okay. Now, someone in the comments, what about Bethany Frankel? Have you had a lot of experience with her, and what has your experience been with her, if any?
I introduced Bethany Frankel to Jill Zarin before the show started. I go way back with Bethany.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Bethany was auditioning for Martha Stewart Apprentice, she actually filmed in my kitchen. So I go way back with her. Really?
Oh.
I wouldn't lie.
No, I believe it. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. That's awesome. So are you guys still friends today?
No, we've lost touch. I mean, if we see each other, we would certainly be friendly to one another, but we lost touch years ago.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, I'm just going to get there. I know there's a lot of Real Housewives questions. I'm almost done. But do you follow Teresa and Joe Giudice, and what are your thoughts on their breakup and new relationships?
I have to be honest, I've never watched any of the Housewives shows. I never even watched Roni before I was on it. And I watched New Jersey for the first time because Jackie and I have become friendly. So the first time I ever watched it was the premiere this season. And I thought Teresa was disgusting the way she behaved at Jackie's birthday party for her husband. So that's like as far as I could comment on the show, because that's really all I know about it.
Have you ever seen a show called 90 Day Fiancé? You ever watch that show?
I haven't. No, I don't. I really don't watch any reality shows.
Okay, don't watch
so
that.
Bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Don't watch.
That's good. You don't want to. If you watch something happens to your brain when you watch that show, it makes you crazy. Yeah, don't start watching it. Okay. So if you out of the entire, so you don't watch. Do you have any housewife that you've ever seen that you're like, oh my God, if that one was on my show? This is Lisa Ham that just comments. She's on the 90 Day Fiancé show. So she said she doesn't watch it either.
Hi,
so
Lisa.
Of the whole franchise, is there any housewife you ever seen that you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad that they're not on New York, like that you think would be difficult to deal with?
Well, since the only other franchise I've ever seen was New Jersey,
Yeah.
I think everyone except Jackie scares me on that show.
So, Jackie's the only one that, yeah. So if they were on,
the only one that seems like relatively tame.
Yes. Yeah. Jackie's great. You're absolutely right. Okay. So I want to get back to
you keep
8 questions in the question box. Is it all right if I ask questions? Is it okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I'm going to bring them up, and I'll try. This is. Will there be an interview with? Okay, just ignore that. I have. There's a lot of backstory. Do you get along with or see Ramona? We asked that one. This is Sissy. Share the name of the skincare company again, please. Your skincare company.
It is Beauty Society, and if you go on my Instagram page, which is at Elyse Slaine, and go to my bio, you'll see Beauty Society in my bio. And feel free to DM me, and I'll be happy to discuss a different product with you. But I literally am obsessed with this company.
Okay, and as far as the crypto trade, that's not something that you will give consultation to, right? That's just your own personal thing, or
on my, if you look at my Instagram, I've now posted 4 videos on cryptos, introducing people to cryptos. Okay. Whereas I won't tell people when to buy and sell, I am teaching them how to do it, how to literally the different types of buy orders, market limits, stop orders. My next post is going to be how to read charts, technical analysis. So I am, because a lot of people have reached out to me asking me about crypto trading. But I always warn people, it's not a get rich quick thing. It's a very bumpy ride. I've been trading my whole life, so it was a logical transition to trade cryptos. But trading could be treacherous for people, right? Like that, you could lose your investment. So I do say approach with caution.
Now, and in your beauty products, what specific are you selling? Beauty products, or is like
so I am their chief beauty officer.
Okay.
The company, yeah. So if people can go on to the link in on my page and buy the products, and the proceeds that I get, the commissions that I get from the products, I also donate to animal rescue.
That's great. Oh, that's great. Okay.
And one thing about the company, why I was very attracted to them, aside from the fact that they're fabulous products, there's no animal testing. And they're really environmentally conscious, that they give like these little refills as opposed to having to buy the whole jars. They literally, when you buy a refill, they plant a tree in the rainforest. So they're the real deal.
Awesome. Okay. This is Jill. What has been the funniest meme of you to come out of Roni?
There have been a lot of memes. People actually made mugs and T-shirts and stationery out of when I called Ramona a narcissistic, nefarious, duplicitous, superficial bitch. So that literally became like stationery cards.
Stationery cards?
Yeah, it was a card that says, "You're my favorite narcissistic, nefarious, superficial, duplicitous bitch." And then coffee mugs and shirts. So I thought that was pretty funny. But there were a lot of gifts that of me that I was really surprised.
Oh, that's a lot of adjectives. You got, yeah, that was a big vent. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I did so well on my SATs.
Yes, it sounds like it. Now, should Barbara K be a full-time New York City housewife? Thoughts on Barbara K?
Barbara definitely should not be a full-time housewife, because she has so much more going on with her construction company. She's a really sweet, non-assuming person. I've gotten pretty close with her, and she's not the type that wants to like take out the knives and just really go for the juggler. So no, I don't see her being full-time on the show. And she's running for mayor. Support her for mayor.
Absolutely. Okay, there you go. Should Barbara K be mayor? You said yes. Okay. This is Jen Bailey. Do you still talk to Dorinda? We did that one.
I did.
Is Bustamy, Dom, do you believe Tom's new woman has lip fillers? This is a separate question. This is Jen Bailey again. Is she friends with anyone from the only shows, like other shows, like Lisa Rinna or Lisa Vanderpump?
I'm not.
No. Okay. This is Does she have an opinion on the two-state solution that is in the Middle East? We usually ignore this is fur cat. Yeah, we don't usually.
For the record, and this won't be a popular thing to say, and probably I'll lose half my followers, I'm a Zionist.
You're a Zionist.
I am.
Okay. And for people who don't know what that is,
I'm pro-Israel.
Pro-Israel. Okay. Just making sure. I knew what you meant, but some people, how much of the show is scripted from Pinklet's 84?
Nothing is scripted.
Nothing scripted. Okay. Elyse, should Barbara Kay be a full... Oh, we did this one? She write this? She wrote this 6 times. Should Jennifer Gilbert, season 3, be a full-time housewife? She was once considered to be a friend of Jill's. Do you know who Jennifer Gilbert is?
She is.
Okay. A lot of these are from FERC. We don't usually read those. Are vacations paid for by production? That's from Pinklet's 84.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, production pays for vacation. Okay. All right. And let me just skip through. Okay. I'll read this. Can you consult Furcat Holdings LLC in crypto?
Furcat, I saw him commenting a lot last night on your.
Yeah, we don't